Okay, so I think that Upland has been doing a great job with working with the players to improve the Sparklet Wars game, but I think it still has a ways to go. I'm not complaining about how Upland is doing because I know that it takes a long time to uh, improve a game, whether you're doing it by hand or doing it with AI, however you're doing it, it takes a long time. This game that I'm working on I've gone through 30 iterations already, and it's still not where I want it to be. Obviously, it's still very primitive, but uh, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that in my view, there are things that should still be changed to make the game more interesting and more um, not profitable, but uh, at least use the things that we've already purchased, I guess is the idea. Um, in the way that it is now, if they just switched it to be what it was in the Genesis week, and I know that was just a quick change, we don't use the towers, we don't use the chests, we just used cannons, and we had to buy or could buy new things called catapults, and the catapults didn't really seem to be any different than cannons. But and again, I'm not sure. I played for a little while, but didn't play forever. Um, in my opinion, a game should be a very quick thing. If I'm playing a video game on, let's say, on the console, an Xbox, for example, I usually don't play for more than an hour or two. If I'm playing with a bunch of friends, I may play for longer than that, but at some point we get tired and move on to something else. Um, Games on your phone are a bit different. They're what most people would call micro games, I guess. You would play them for a very short period of time, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, uh, and then the doctor calls you into the office or whatever. They're meant to be distractions while you have nothing else to do. Um, Upland is a strange kind of game, is that we've been playing it for 6 years or so, and it's not actually a game you play all the time. You are playing it all the time, but you're not engaged in it all the time. Sparklet Wars should be more like a console game, in my opinion, and that you only play it for an hour at most. And Sparklet Wars should be kind of an in between an hour and, let's say, a racing game where it lasts for 3 to 5 minutes. You want it to be playable and slightly difficult, but you also want the prizes to be worth the effort that you put into the game. If the game was only, let's say, 10 minutes long, and you don't put much effort into the game, you shouldn't get much of a prize. If you're playing for 2 hours and you have to, let's say, you have to use some sparklet to build a tower or purchase cannons or catapults or chests or carts, you should get more of a reward. Input equals output. And I'm not saying everybody should win. I'm just saying that the golden pot at the end of the rainbow should be larger for the more effort, more money, the more time you put into the game. And so these are a few things that I think need to change, and I've tried to come up with a game that would use all of the components that we already have and allow you to purchase more, but maybe change the way or the pricing or the amount of time it takes to build things, so that it becomes more engaging. I'll describe what my game is at the beginning and then try and show you how it would fit into Upland. So I've developed a Capture the Dragon style of game where your tower is the green item, and before you press the start game button, you can move everything around except for the enemy tower. The enemy tower does not move. These are your chests. They can move anywhere except within the orange circle that is the no-go zone for your chests. Also, the cannons can't be placed within the orange circle. If you try, they just pop back to where they were before. It's the same for this enemy tower. You cannot place your chests or cannons within the enemy tower's circle. That circle is the same as the orange one, but I haven't got it to draw it yet. The green circle around your tower is the capture zone for the dragon. A dragon is the same size as the tower dot, but it's purple instead of green or black. A dragon moves across the board in a straight line until it's affected by some other object. The towers do not attract or repel dragons, they capture them. So if a dragon comes close enough and it touches your tower, it disappears and you have captured that dragon. The game is over when you've captured all the dragons, or the enemy has captured all the dragons. The same thing happens for the enemy tower in the way that it happens to your tower. If it gets close enough, it gets captured. The chests are full of gold, and dragons love gold, so they will capture your chest. They basically make it disappear. If you place a chest and the dragon comes over top of it, the chest disappears. But if the dragon is passing by, it becomes attracted to your chest in the way that gravity works. So you'll find it, if it gets close enough, it will actually zoom in and capture it. Otherwise, it'll just be, its path will be bent. The circle here is representing gravity, and the closer you get to your chest, the greater the force is. The same kind of thing happens with cannons. The cannon circle is the repelling circle. So the closer it gets, the greater the repelling force. So you'll find a dragon that's coming in on this angle will do this kind of a movement. Cannons can be overrun by dragons, and the dragon will destroy the cannon and in effect making it disappear. Each chest and cannon can be moved up to the number on its dot. They start out with 4, and they can be moved 4 times. When they get to 0, they can no longer be moved. So if you're moving them around too much, the idea is that they become stationary and dead, and then if the dragon captures them, then they're gone. I was thinking of making it so that if the dragon captured all of your chests, the game would be over, but that may be happening in the future. So also there's one other feature where if the dragon captures or destroys one of your chests or cannons, it will speed up slightly, and the more it captures, the faster it moves. So as time goes by, the dragon moves quicker and quicker, and it becomes harder and harder to control its movement. I've made a list of all the variables that I thought were important for the game, and you can play with these all you like. Some of them will adjust immediately, like I think the tower exclusion zone. Yeah, it changes as you move the slider. Some of the adjustments you need to reset the game for them to change, like the number of dragons, well, that doesn't matter until you start the game, but let's say the number of enemy towers. If you were to increase that, nothing happens until you press the reset game button. I'll show you what happens when you start the game, and just for fun, I'm going to make it so that the chests are all around my tower, so that it should get attracted to my tower, and it should be repelled from the enemy tower. This is how I'm thinking. This is my strategy for at least for this game. And again, I will make it so that the dome for the enemy will be visible. Right now it's only the orange dotted circle is only for my tower. So when I press start, the dragon appears, and at this stage it seems like it might be a very easy game, but you could easily change the variables to make it much more difficult. Obviously this isn't going to work. Now I need the dragon to come back my way. It's not going to be enough. That's probably too much. So you can see it can be kind of tricky even just with one tower and one let's try this. Nope, it's going to bend it too much. One tower and one dragon. It's still not a simple game. I think that might do it. No, it missed again. And you can see there it swallowed up one of the dragons because it was, or one of the cannons because it was going really fast. So now all I can do is move around my cannons and try and hope that it will be repelled enough. Yes, and I won. So the dragon got captured by my tower before it got captured by the enemy tower. So that's essentially what the game is, my game, but how it translates into Upland is essentially the same way, but it would be, that only took 1 minute and 39 seconds, as you can see here. That would be an extremely short game in Upland, and I think everybody would be really annoyed if that happened. But if you were to release, let's say, 100 dragons at once in, let's say, Hong Kong. Hong Kong's a new city, and there's not a lot of, there's still a ton of unminted properties, so it would actually work well in Hong Kong. What they should do is release a city that nobody really cares about, and have just literally thousands of properties available that are unminted. The object in the idea in that case would be that you could mint something and place a cannon or a tower or a chest on it quickly or easily. It would, I guess the idea is that if the release was the game, the Sparklet Warz game, where where nothing was minted at the beginning, and then you release all the dragons, and then everybody scrambles to buy properties and mint them or whatever, and then play the game. That's how the release would happen. Is that the Sparklet Warz would be the release of the city, and I think it would be much more of a longer engaged minting session, and you would also have many more people wanting to take part. Also, there could be rewards for the Sparklet game in the end as well. It's just a thought, but and there's many ways this could go, but I think the movable enemy is important. In the Genesis version of Sparklet Warz, the enemies stayed still for long periods of time. They would move and people would have to try and find them, which they obviously ended up cheating to do. They would use the blockchain, or at least I think that's what was happening. Because I looked around the map and I was having a hard time finding it. On my own, I don't know how people found them because they were the icons for the drones and the robot were far too small. I couldn't locate them in the mess of buildings that were there. And I had to wait until somebody posted their location on Discord before I was able to take part. That's not an undesirable feature, I guess, but it's not. It makes it so that people who have more knowledge of the blockchain can win, and that's cheating in a sense. I know that the blockchain is there for everybody, but not everybody knows how to use the blockchain. So, like I was saying, the game should be shorter. It should be using all of the components that we already have. And I think maybe using it as a city opening, have a Sparklet Warz as the first thing in the season might actually be the most entertaining. But I guess they'd have to try one to see if it actually worked or not. Anyways, thanks for watching. The link for the game as it currently is, it will be in this description below. If you want the latest version of the game, because I'm still going to be working on it, you'll have to visit the Vulgarian Discord server, and it'll be under the Sparklet Warz section, or channel, or whatever it's called. So as I was saying, try it out, see what you think, and maybe we'll see something like this in the future in Upland.